The biggest factor to getting that bonus or the next promotion isn't based on the quality of your work. It's actually based on how much your boss likes you.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
I know it sounds unfair, but it is a brutal reality. Most often, our bosses make bonus or promotion decisions based on how they feel about you, not based on objective output or the outcome of your work. So in today's video, I want to share with you time-tested ways to not only get your boss to like you, but actually end up loving you.
You started with this company as a fine young man.
Hi, if you're new to the channel, my name is Tay from Financial Tortoise, where we learn to grow our wealth slow and steady. The first sure way to impress your boss is to always underpromise, but overdeliver. This probably is the easiest, yet the most overlooked way to quickly impress your boss. When I was managing a team, I was always a bit wary when someone was so eager to say they could complete a project quickly, or they can have it done right away. It made me question the quality of their work. And most often, individuals who are so quick to say they could get that done right away either turn in work that had a lot of errors in it, or were late with their assignments. Instead, I was impressed by individuals who would say, given their other priorities, they could allocate a day later this week so they can have a thoroughly completed work by a specified time next week. This showed me that they had an organized way of approaching work, and also they knew the time and effort required of what I was asking him or her. And with these individuals, most often, he or she would actually turn in their work a day or two earlier, and with much better quality. If your boss asks you for a specific deliverable, even though in your mind you know you can complete it within 2 days, say you'll have it to him or her in 3 days, or even 4. And add why you would need those days. You want to allot enough time to produce quality work. And you also don't want to deprioritize your other deliverables. And when you do complete your work within 2 days, check it thoroughly to make sure it's not only quality, but also goes above and beyond what was initially asked. I once had an analyst who often did this. I would ask him to run a couple financial scenarios on a given project. He would come back, of course, a day or two earlier than anticipated with the 2 scenarios I asked him. Then he would add that he worked on a few other scenarios on top of what was asked. I just needed to flip to the specific appendix page to see the results. I had to hide my smile whenever he did this because he expertly deployed the underpromise and overdeliver strategy to impress me. The second way to impress your boss is to be early, always. Time is a finicky thing. Just when we think we have all the time in the world, we don't have enough of it. How many of us have looked at the clock before a meeting and thought, cool, I have time to go to the restroom, grab some coffee downstairs, and come back to gather my things before the meeting. But soon, we're frantically running to that conference room so our bosses doesn't see us coming in late for that meeting. I have done this often, and I have also seen my team members do this more often than I like to count. Being on time is one of the seemingly easiest things to do, yet also the most elusive. Things we thought would only take 2 minutes take us 5. And when we feel like only 5 minutes have passed, we're shocked when we look at the clock and we see that actually 10 minutes have gone by. Don't let time hijack our career. Be early and impress your boss. A way I like to do this is by setting myself an artificial deadline. If a meeting is scheduled to start at 11 a.m., I tell myself I want to be in the conference room by 10:45. Most often, I'm 5 minutes late, but to everyone else, I am 10 minutes early. And when you're early, it has several key effects. One is a sense of control. Instead of feeling like you're at the mercy of someone else's schedule, you have a great sense of control of your own schedule. And this sense of control cascades into the next major benefit, which is it keeps you calm. You aren't trying to recover from the adrenaline of just making it. Your body and your mind have a sense of calm that others feel, including your boss. And your boss will surely be impressed when he or she enters the conference room and find you already sitting there with your notes out and calm as Buddha. The third way to impress your boss is to anticipate your boss's problems. One of the most impressive phrases I heard from my team members was, "I've been thinking." And when they started talking about a problem that I've been mulling over, I seriously felt like I wanted to give them a hug. Our bosses are humans too, and they have work problems that they're struggling with as well. It could be a board presentation, organizing the upcoming team retreat, or something as simple as finding time to grab lunch. When you can be that person that can just even restate the problem he or she is trying to work through, I promise you will make an impression. And one of the best ways to do this is to really listen when your boss is speaking, whether in internal team meetings or even larger meetings with other managers. Most often, you can tease out what's most on his or her mind. I saw this often with my own managers and often did this myself. During a one-on-one meeting with a team member, even though the problem I was thinking about didn't involve her, I would catch myself blurting it out. It could be a challenging analysis I was working on, or an important board presentation I had to get ready for. When a team member would later approach me with the phrase, I was thinking about that board meeting presentation I was talking about, or that specific analysis I was concerned with, my ears would perk up. Then when she would say, I have an idea of how to make that board presentation better, or I created a template for that specific analysis, as you can imagine, I was thoroughly impressed. She was genuinely helping me with my problems. And this, I will say, will stand out because managers and bosses are most often needing to solve other people's problems. That is part of being a manager and a boss. So when someone comes to help them with their problems, this is totally unexpected. Be that person. And I guarantee you, your boss will want to stand up and give you a standing ovation. The fourth way to impress your boss is to communicate your effectiveness. What do I mean by this? This one may not be so straightforward, so let me explain. One of the biggest challenges that managers have with their team members is, as you can imagine, managing them. Which means knowing how to allocate appropriate work to the right individuals, motivate team members based on their personality, and knowing how to communicate with them effectively. This is a tough order given everyone is so different and we all work so differently. Now, when you can go to your boss with how he or she can best manage you, you are a godsend. You're alleviating your manager's burden on trying to figure out what kind of work to give you, how to communicate with you, or even motivate you. Let's take a look at an example. Let's say that you're a type that excels doing analytical work and you do your best work in the morning. And you like to receive your assignments clearly in person so you can ask clarifying questions. Now, start out the conversation with your boss that you want to best support him or her and the team as well. Therefore, in order to best deploy you as a team member, you want your boss to give you the most challenging analytical work because that is what you're most good at. However, you want to now add specific conditions around that to bring out your best work and best deliverable for him. You want to ask him to allow you to have uninterrupted time in the morning, free from meetings and other administrative duties if possible. And you also want a chance to sit down with him in person to review the scope of work in detail before you get started. What you want to do is let your boss know that you have his best interest in mind. But in order for you to provide him with your best work, you want to let him know what your most effective working style is. And to be honest, you want to work your way up to this strategy. What I mean is don't approach him on the first day with an ultimatum. Start out small to prove your effectiveness with the quality of your work. For example, I had an analyst who delivered one of the most comprehensive and detailed Excel scenario models I had seen. But he was also clear he needed help in finding uninterrupted work time in order to produce this quality of work every time. After seeing the quality of work, I was more than happy to work with him in removing him from meetings where he wasn't needed at times, and I would even let him use my office to get his work done. If you can communicate your effectiveness clearly with your boss, deliver quality work, and couple it with the first tip of underpromise or overdeliver, your boss will be crazy not to go out of his way to make your life better. The fifth way to impress your boss is to publicly praise him or her. I know this sounds a lot like brown-nosing, but you have to understand your bosses are humans just like you. Just like we need affirmation due to our insecurities, so do our bosses. And there's nothing more that will make him feel good than one of his team members praise him in front of other peers, or best of all, your boss's boss. And I do want to say that you want to be authentic. People can read fake praises pretty quickly. But what if you don't have anything to praise your boss for? Well, I would actually challenge you on that. Even the most challenged managers have something to praise them for. Let's say that your boss doesn't give you enough guidance around your work. Well, great. Praise him for giving you flexibility and independence over your work. Let's say your boss micromanages your work. Great. Praise him for his dedication and attention to detail. Now, if this is really hindering your ability to work, you want to have a respectful conversation about how you can best work for the team. Remember tip number 4, communicate your effectiveness. However, if you want to have a good relationship with your boss, you must also treat him or her with genuine kindness. Let them know how much you appreciate them, how you appreciate either the independence they give you or the attention to detail they have over your work. And the more you can do this in public, the better. Is it brown-nosing? Of course, but isn't it also true with a lot of our other relationships? If a tree falls in the forest but no one was there to hear it, did it really make any noise? In the same way, don't hold back your praise. Be authentic, but give it often and with other people. Thank you guys for watching, and if you'd like to learn about other ways to move ahead in career and life, check out my video here. Until next time, all the best.